cooking up today? Well, I'm making bread and butter pickles, and I'm going to be following the recipe that's in the Blue Ball canning book. I'm going to cut the onions up first because I know they're going to make me cry. And I do have a larger mandolin, but I just like this small one, so this is what I'm going to use. You can see how easy this process is and how quickly it goes. As your vegetable is getting smaller, use the guard so you don't cut your fingers. Mandolins are so very sharp. So here's the sliced onions. And these are the pieces that didn't want to go through the mandolin. So I'm just going to chop them up and put them in my freezer for when I'm cooking and need a little bit of chopped onion. I chopped off those ends of onions and I have them ready to go in the freezer. They'll be perfect when I have a recipe that's calling for 2 tablespoons of chopped onion or just a small quantity. Also, I use them when I'm in a hurry. Wash and dry your cucumbers, cut the ends off, and remove any part that doesn't look like you would want to eat it. You can see how quickly this mandolin helps. However, you can hand cut these. In a large bowl, layer your sliced cucumber and onion and just sprinkle a little bit of salt. I'm using a rock salt here. You could use canning salt. Continue making layers until you've used up all of the cucumbers and onion. I've layered the cucumbers and onions, and now I'll be pouring ice over top. The ice is on, and I'm going to cover it with a towel, and you just let this sit for an hour and a half. While that's sitting, you can gather all the ingredients and start making the brine. It's been an hour and a half, and now it's time to remove the ice and drain it. I'm letting it drain a few minutes, and then I will put it in the brine. The brine ingredients are in a large pot. They're coming up to a boil. The recipe will be in the description below, but in this is white vinegar, mustard seed, turmeric, celery seed, ginger, and peppercorns. The jars and lids are getting steamy hot. Rinse the cucumbers and onions. The cucumbers are in the brine now, and they need to come up to a full boil. And then it will be time to either refrigerate them if you're not processing them, or it'll be time to start the canning. This is a little trick I do that makes it easier to pack the jars. I take the hot cucumbers and brine and I pour it into a strainer. And this way you'll see it's easier for me to fill my jars. Right now I'm putting the cucumbers and the onions into my jars. Then I'll add the brine. Of course, these jars are hot. Now put brine over the pickles. Leave a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch header space. Put a knife down the sides of each of the jars, trying to remove any air bubbles, and you'll see if you need more brine. Now clean off the tops of the jars. This is to help make a good seal. Put your lids on and then your bands. Tighten them, just not extremely tight, but still tight. Then you can put them in your water bath or pressure can them. There's quite a bit of brine left, and with that you could just prepare some more cucumbers and onions and brine them in this. If you're going to do that in a couple days, just stick this in your fridge. Here's the jars, and I'm waiting to hear them start popping, meaning that they have processed. I'm not sure why these are called bread and butter pickles. I'm having a feeling that possibly in the Depression they would just have bread and butter, this is vegan butter, and some pickles. I'll give you a taste right now. You can see how nice they look. They're sweet, there's that touch of salt, and they're crunchy. I think you're going to like them. Talk to you next week.